Welcome back, everybody, to Vital's B Practice podcast presented by Maxis and BergTech. This is your host, Jason Schroeder. And on today's episode, I'm joined, as always, by my good friends Dakota Norton and Tanner Stevens. Chat about some downhill bike racing from the 10th and final round of the 2025 World Cup season for Mont Sainte Anne. Always a little bit sad when the season comes to a close, but it was rad to finish off the year at such an iconic venue for what could be the last time. And our boy Dak laid down a heater to finish just off the podium, which is good timing because we are heading into team rumor season and our guy is looking for a team. We get into some of that, plus all the gnarly and exciting racing that took place last weekend. Chat some about riders who are retiring after this year, the strain upcoming juniors could put on current elites. Chat about our interest in Rampage that's been underway this week. Get into talking about sealant choices, how many wheels Dakota and other riders went through this weekend. Bunch of good stuff. So I want to say a big thank you to everybody who listens to this show and has been supporting the podcast over the last so many years. It's been a lot of fun rambling into the ether about downhill bike racing, and I'm looking forward to doing more of the same in the future. So hope you enjoy this show, and thanks for listening. I have new news for B Practice Podcast. We have a new sponsor. Jensen USA.
Yo!
Shout out Jensen. Dude, I've been buying stuff on Jensen for like 20 years now.
Right? Real talk. Once
like using my parents' credit card back in the day.
Yeah, once upon a time.
Give them cash.
So
they gave us a deal when I was at 100%. Like we had some sort of industry pricing. I built 2 years worth of race bikes off of Jensen USA. So I still buy stuff off of there. I just bought some stuff to do the lower service on Lauren's fork like a week ago.
So do we get like Jensen hooked up since they sponsor the pod, or is that do they just sponsor the pod and not us?
That's a great question. I think that they help support what we're doing here, and I think we're just grateful for that. And they have been sponsoring Inside Line for a while, and you could like enter Inside Line at checkout for 10% off. That might still work. No idea. Go try it if you're looking to buy some stuff. I use them all the time because if I need to look up how expensive something is, their pricing is always really accurate. It's a good baseline to kind of like, if you're trying not to get scammed out there buying something,
Personally, I'm sick of buying tire sealant. That's the thing that just really drives me up the wall. I just consume so much tire sealant.
You don't reuse?
You're not supposed to drink it.
Yeah.
Recycle, reuse.
Yeah,
I put it in my coffee. That's why I'm so tough as nails.
Have you tried whole milk?
Nah, just primarily X sauce.
You don't have a sealant sponsor, huh? Or now the season's over, you're just full
Motor X or Muck Off or something?
I'm just on the other side. Well, we have like X sauce, but I'm kind of on the other side of the ocean. So some of that stuff, like, that's a lot of weight to put in a bike bag.
It's not legal here, is that what you're saying?
No, it's a lot of weight to put in a bike bag. If I'm taking something, I'm taking a tire or something like that over tire sealant. Tire sealant, usually I'm buying it.
I do hate. Every time I put it in, I'm like, does this even do anything? Do
I really need this? Do I?
I will say stuff on road bikes and gravel bikes.
See, that I get.
I don't know if it really does anything on a mountain bike aside from burp out of your tires.
Yeah, like look cool when you run too low of pressure and hit a corner hard. Yeah, because like if you slash a tire, you're gonna have to put a bacon strip in it.
Yeah,
you're bummed because it's always a new tire. Usually, it's never an old tire you slash.
No.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Sealant.
I feel like tires either flat at 1 run or 50 runs. It's one or the other.
Yeah, that's very true. Dude, how many wheels and tires did you guys go through this weekend? Seems like everybody had flats, and not like your team in particular. I just mean like across the board this weekend. MSA is always so hard on tires and wheels.
I feel like for me, it was one of the better years at Mont Sainte Anne. I broke 1 front, 1 rear pretty early on. And then maybe, I don't rebuild them. So I kind of lose track. I don't think maybe like 2 rears, maybe. But
that's not bad.
I was for Mont Sainte Anne, that's great. Like 1 year I was like breaking a rim and run. So I feel like I had a pretty good weekend on wheels. I don't think any wheel would survive in Ronan's rock case. No wheel was standing up to that.
That rock he landed on, everybody before him, it was like you would see them kind of pull off and be like, man, that rock there, everyone's getting pretty close to it.
Yeah.
And then he just straight impact. You're like, well, that's what'll happen when you hit it.
Yeah. I'm
And
surprised.
everybody in the comments is like, oh, like E13, they suck, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, he jumped into a curb from like 8 feet up.
Off
Like,
the house.
what do you want to? I'm
Dude
sure
was
in the
top
air.
ropes.
Yeah, in the air, he was like, here goes my wheel. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, wheels break, unfortunately. That's why if I'm buying wheels, which I'm usually not, thank God, but if I was, I'd be buying alloy wheels for $800. I have a lifetime warranty. That
From
seems like
Jensen USA.
Ayo. They probably got
Ayo.
Reserve. They probably got Crank Brothers. I don't know who else has that whole setup, but yeah.
BT Swiss. Yeah.
It's true. And then I'm slapping some Maxxis tires on it because those things don't flat. Next week we'll have a sealant sponsor, so I can tell you what sealant to put in your wheel.
And I'm being held together with BergTech touch points.
There we go. That's all I need to know. BergTech makes good stuff. I don't even know if we'll have to do an ad read at the very beginning. We're just doing it right now. It's good stuff. It really is. My favorite sealant story that I don't know if I've told in a few years is when I was at 100%. I was working at a bike shop a few evenings a night just to make some extra cash, just building bikes for them. And I was like just racing downhill. I didn't know like that much about bikes, and it was pretty early on when I started running tubeless. And I was building Santa Cruzes. They came with tubes, and then they had like the little bottles of sealant, and same with Giant. And they were like, oh yeah, like pull the tubes out. And then they wanted me to like seal the tire and then pull the valve and then put the sealant in through the valve stem and then reinflate it. And I like kind of wasn't following and like realized that like when you fill it, it would seat and hold air. And I was like, oh, I guess they just don't need sealant. That's cool. So for like a couple weeks, I built bikes with no sealant in the tires that just got rolled out onto like the floor and sold to people with no sealant. And then at some point, somebody was like, you are putting sealant in those. I was like, yeah, for sure. Yeah. What do you mean?
What do you mean? All these little mini 2-ounce bottles.
Yeah. I was like, all
in
these
my car.
Yeah, exactly. They're going with me to the races. They're very handy. Yeah. Anyways.
What really is the GOAT is that 2-ounce bottle of sealant.
Yeah.
Is literally in every mountain biker's garage. There is one of those bottles that's been there for a decade. Like that thing is like the GOAT, the most used tool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Without it, I feel like I waste sealant because I'm just like pouring sealant into tires, not knowing how much is going in too.
4-spoke rule is what I always go by. Like when I'm not measuring it.
Like the pool is 4-spoke lengths wide.
Yes, exactly.
I've never even heard of that. I guess that works.
Pro tip. You heard it here
I just
first.
do some, and then I always look at it, and I always add a little bit more just to be safe. Every time.
The worst one is when I get like the death wheel wobble, and I gotta go down, and I'm like, Jake, can you please take some sealant out of my tire? I'm so sorry, but that's such a crappy job. I would hate it.
That does
and
sound
also,
rough.
after racing the U.S. Open, the one that I didn't realize was such a, I'm going to sound very spoiled, was such a pain, is a chain guide. Like, I remember one year at Fort William, and I was riding a different bike at the time, and I would just like do a chain guide every run. Chain guide, chain ring, potentially a chain. And it was like 3 or 4 runs in a row I did this and didn't realize what I had been hitting, and I'm like, oh, and then I finally figured out what it was. But at US Open, the last run for my race run, I did chain guide, chain ring, chain. And I was like doing that before my race run because it was just me, and I was like, man, this really sucks. And this just miraculously gets fixed by next run, and I go back up the hill and it's great. And I'm like, oops, sorry. But like, that's a big job, dude. Gotta cut the
a lot of screws, a lot of washers.
Dude, a lot of bolts. You got bolted. Oh man. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so
It's
sorry.
also one of
Jake.
those things when you like break one out of race, you're probably gonna break another. Like you were saying at Fort William, like you just keep hitting the same thing.
Didn't know what it was, and it was
Yeah.
just like, yeah. Usually, if you do one, you're gonna do another, unless you know it was like, oh yeah, I did it right there.
Hmm.
So
Mhm.
that's the other one that sucks. I feel bad. Like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, he does this so fast, and this really sucks.
You're like, you're really good at this.
You're so good at this. This should be your job.
Oh my god, I think that's how Lauren feels whenever shit happens to her bike and then just miraculously is fixed the next time. Like, you're just so good at this. And I'm like, I'm not that great of a mechanic. I'm a very average mechanic. It just takes me forever. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
those two
Breaking
little getting those two little washers
Oh.
on
I
in
know.
a gravel parking lot, no bike stand.
Gray gravel parking lot. You're like, surely I'm going to lose one of these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is so true. I know. I don't even nowadays on trail bikes. I don't run any guide. I'll run a top one
I have a
sometimes.
top guide, yeah.
Yeah,
on my
but
bike.
if I'm switching between cranks and stuff, I just don't run anything, and it's been fine. Yeah, I know. Chain guides. Okay, Dak. When did you get back home? Did you drive back from Mont Sainte Anne, right?
Yeah, I did. Hold on. Frida just got home. I mean, they know now. Frida just got home she's gonna make dinner tonight. She's gonna put on some spaghetti. So yeah, just told her to close the door of the office. Yeah, we left Sunday at about 3:00 and then drove back home, just did a few hours, had stopped, had like dinner somewhere, and then drove the rest the next day and pretty much drove all day and got home Monday night.
Nice. I really want to talk about silly season stuff with you. I really just want to hit this shit on the head right from the start.
Nah, just go ahead and just go ahead and wait. Go on, wait.
Just keep on moving.
You want to talk about my
Well,
sillies?
how can we
Else's
couldn't?
sillies?
It was Tuesday yesterday. You got home Monday. How come we couldn't podcast yesterday?
I was busy. I had
Yeah.
stuff to do. I had pressing things to do.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Why is it so pressing?
Were you riding? You back in the saddle or what?
Yeah, you got a horse?
I wouldn't say I was riding. That's not what was happening out there.
Maybe so you didn't like it.
I was no, I was oh boy. I think I was getting roped. It's what I think was happening. Dude, I tell you what, it's once you spend some time on a downhill bike on a track that hasn't had 60 million runs on it on the weekend, it's not all clean. You come from Mont Sainte Anne and like the track's cleaned off, it's beautiful, and then you come home, like check the grip is for you. So yeah, I was on my bike. Pressing issues.
Your bike?
Yeah, I was on my bike. Pressing things.
Okay.
Don't even start. Get out of here.
When's everybody's due date?
Well, yeah, that's a pretty good chat because in the past the contracts were due in February for the UCI for World Cup teams to sign their riders, and now it's due in November, which puts quite the press on things.
November, is it 11th or 15th?
I thought the 15th, but I heard yesterday it might be the 1st.
Okay,
I don't have, but either way, like contracts need to be going in like 2 to 4 weeks.
I have a question for you because this would potentially apply to you. So Cole just went to Syndicate. Big congrats to him. That was really cool to see. And I thought I had heard somewhere or seen in our forums that part of him moving over there so soon is that if a change happens by the end of October this month, his points get applied to Syndicate's team for the 25 season. Have you heard anything like that? Like, do you have any weight like yourself with your point? Because this whole year was like teams keep the points, but if maybe his deal's different because YT doesn't exist anymore. Maybe that was it.
I think the teams keep the points.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe that's where I'm getting confused on it. So that makes more sense.
The teams keep the points now. So it's kind of, I'm not really happy about this because it's kind of stripped the riders of the power of like having a leg to stand on. I mean, of course, yes, the riders can still. I got a glare now. Oh boy.
Yeah, you're about to get abducted.
Yeah.
Don't go to the light.
Don't go to the light. No, so yeah, essentially the rider has the ability to score the points, but he doesn't carry his own points anymore or her own points. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's something weird to do with the YT team not being a thing, but yeah, I don't know on that. But essentially now you just have to, go score the points there. They keep them, and the rider moves on.
Mm-hmm. Has that changed negotiations for you this year? Because it's a different dynamic than in the past. I mean, I guess you are selling yourself as the potential points you can score in the future, the same as you always would with results.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any points to take anywhere to begin with.
You have
in my
some,
season.
though. What'd you finish in the overall?
I'm actually not sure.
Let me look it
I
up.
didn't even look.
Tanner can look at it. I don't think you were horrible. You were ahead of other people that are on factory World Cup teams. So, oh shit, I had a good question and I totally spaced on what I wanted to ask you.
So yeah, essentially it's just put a lot of pressure on the teams to sign riders soon, which it is cool because now the contracts will move, I think, from November. So like after the race season, there'll be a quick like turnover, and then it won't be like somebody's riding a new bike for 2 months and can't post anything. It'll be like news straight away, and it'll be quite cool, I think, going forward. And it is a good change, but it is a bit weird currently with the way the changes are happening.
Mm-hmm. What place did he finish, Tanner?
23rd, 418 points. You were.
That is not bad.
That's way better than I thought. Honestly, I thought it was going to be like 36.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're in the top 30, which is finals. I think that accounts for something. And that brings me to the question I did remember is talking a bit about Mont Sainte Anne. You had an awesome result, and it seems like the build of your year coming back from injury has been on a pretty epic trajectory, a bit exponential almost here. And, with looking at next year, figuring out what your deal is going to be. Like, I feel like we've chatted some where you're like, you're kind of racing for a job mentality. I think there's a lot of riders out there doing that, but then I haven't got that vibe from people I've talked with about you, and whoever that might be, friends, people I work with, industry people. Like, everybody's like, yeah, you're coming back from injury and it's crazy how good you're doing. Like, clearly Dak still has speed. Are you getting some of that yourself as you're trying to figure out next year?
It's kind of a touchy one. I mean, there's
Or I guess, how do you feel about it?
I mean, when somebody says to you, they're like, oh, well, you've made 50% of the finals. It's like, really? That's where this is going. Like, like, really, like, this is for me the hardest thing in the sport, and maybe this is controversial. You can look at it as I'm a guy that's paid to be contesting or for wins, paid to be on the podium. I'm paid to win, have wins, and there is a lot of value in that. You can also look at that, spin that ball, and say, hey, I'm Dakota Norton. I was very close to winning a World Cup last year. I've had a life-changing injury, and now I'm looking to come back and compete for wins. And everyone is now watching my story of how I went from an athlete that had an injury that should take a year to heal from, and now I was 4th place at the final World Cup, 0.3 off the podium in less than a year. and how triumphant that is, and how many people have watched and rooted for me and been along for the ride. And personally, I think if you on the weekend, if I asked you right now who got sixth place, I don't know.
Troy.
I don't know.
Actually, I don't know if that's accurate or not.
But
No, it's a good point.
But there's no attachment to that.
Mm-hmm. No, it's fair.
But Jackson won. Somebody got second.
Luca.
Luca got second. I got third. Dak was almost on the podium. I think there's more value in that story than there is who got sixth place.
Mm-hmm.
I know who got fifth place. It was Pinky because it's my teammate. But it's like seventh, eighth, I don't even know, And to me, that is, you could embrace that narrative and see the value in that, or you could see, and this is where I feel very fortunate to have people have followed my story. I've definitely told my story. People follow my story. People care about me, probably because I do put a lot of my struggles and a lot of my wins and losses out there, which is something that's, to me, quite vulnerable, quite hard to do. Sometimes I feel like a broken record, but at the same time, people do like knowing that it's not just easy for everybody, and it doesn't just happen, and it's hard to do what we're doing, and that creates that value in my story. But I am still paid to be there, and when you're in 15th place or 23rd place, or you don't have the strength to be competitive on some of the slippery tracks. I had a good track and I was able to be competitive. But, for me, it is, the question is, I personally want to believe that there's a lot of value in that. But sometimes when it comes down to the raw data, you could debate otherwise. And I've been honestly a bit surprised at how much of that I think I perceived. That's just personal to me. But I mean, if you're not at the races, you're not creating value, are you? So I definitely see where it comes from.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I think too, like any job, Tanner or myself, we can be qualified for a number of different jobs. It doesn't mean we're going to get everyone we go out and seek, right? Like, things have to fit. And for your sake, you want to find a brand or a team that does see that value. Because I totally agree. I think that is one of your biggest assets, is you as a person outside of being a racer. And it is, and it's really true. I mean, looking at results, there's people that you pick out their result when they're further down the list for reasons like you have right now, right? And that story. And I think that's what's cool. I think brands do see that. It's just finding the ones that see the value in it.
I mean, I'm also super self-critical, right? So the reality is, I understand I'm underperforming. Yeah, okay, I'm trying to share everything I'm going through because I think that does help influence sales. I think that does create a lot of value for me as an athlete, to tell that story. And it's not just about, at the end of the day, my job is to sell bikes, right? So, if you're not selling it by winning the race, your job is to make people aware of the brand and also think the brand's cool by being, in my case, human. That's what I do. I'm not the what I would call the coolest guy, but also at the same time, I'm probably one of the most relatable guys, because kind of people have said, kind of more of a people's champ, than child prodigy or whatever. But yeah, I'm self-critical. So of course, I'm man, I really hope it's been a rough year. I really hope things go my way, and people still want to stand behind me and still believe that, I'm capable of winning, because the reality is, I have had a pretty gnarly injury and I'm 33. You can't you can't debate that. And the reality is, I started racing at 24. So it's I'm still fresh. I'm still learning. I'm still excited to race. I'm not jaded by any means or like burnt out. Like I'm as hungry as I've ever been. And also like went through this injury where like it made me realize, man, I really love racing. Like I really want to do this. And I used to be so afraid of the fear of the failure or whatever. Like the last 2 weeks I've like went into the gate like, man, there's a lot of people here and I have the opportunity to really enjoy this and do something special and make an impact. And that's like been a realization I've never had. It's always been, oh, I don't want to, like, for lack of a better term, sorry, but bust my ass in front of 35,000 people. Like, you know, like, or come down 5 seconds back. It's like Placid. I hit a tree, or I was on the wrong line and came down super far back, and it wasn't triumphant to be 5 seconds back by any means, but you know, like, it's like it's sometimes you have to go through those things to get to where you really want to go, and it's not always going to go your way. You can't be a superstar every weekend. It's just not the reality.
Yeah.
What we do has too many variables. So yeah, with that being said, like, yeah, I mean, you want people to stand behind you, but I'm also very self-critical and understand that, didn't exactly hold up my end of the bargain for the first half of the year.
Well, there's a lot of names that were there all year that didn't hold up their end of the bargain. So you're doing better than quite a few people, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, you know, this is life.
Yeah, it's downhill racing. It's more competitive than ever. I mean, I made the list of riders who had made, who had made half or less than half of finals just for elite men, because that's where there's the most, and it's a pretty long list. But I'm sure if you can kind of go down the list, and they're all fast, they've all accomplished something in their career, and they're all likely going through something or working on something that doesn't mean they can't be competing for top 10s or top 5 next year. It's just like, I don't know, there's just so many fast racers, and yeah, like in the harshest way, I keep kind of going back to like, we need these Conti series to come around because we maybe don't need this many people on teams and at World Cups. There's just like so many riders, and like, I don't know, I've had a weird changing of heart the last like couple of weeks where I'm like, why is our sport so focused on qualifying? And like, there's like all this emphasis on like qualifying for finals. I'm like, dude, no one watches qualifying Saturday afternoon at Supercross. You know, like, you already know all the names that are in finals. Like, that's the show you're there to see. And we get that for the most part right now. Like, most of the top names are always making it through in downhill racing, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. There's, and like, it's, I don't think it's right for me 15. To just be like, these people shouldn't be there because they're not doing well this year. Like, I get it's much more complex than that. And we don't really, in a decade from now, I bet we'll have the feeder series of things that make more sense for how this might.
But there's only like 15 people that are there consistently, I would say, that were like in almost every final.
I think there's 15 people that can win every weekend.
And there's 15 people that can win every weekend.
I want to see 40 in the final, men, 20 in the final for women, period. Like, there's two, and it's the same, like, Frida has to have her run her life to get in finals, right? Right now, like with the amount of sport she has, it's like she can't get more support because she's not in finals. But she's also 1 second off finals every week with no support, no mechanic, no one, nothing. Like, doing what teams do with $500,000 or $1 million. Like, I mean, not per each rider, but like, right, total, and staff, and someone cooking, and physios, and someone on the track, and she's like 1 second off every week. And it's like, then she has no value, and she's going like, should I even be there? And I'm like, okay, so you're the 16th fastest girl in the world or whatever. If you were the 14th fastest girl, you wouldn't be asking yourself that question. But it's the same. Like, you have dudes that have like serious street cred, like in 31st place, and they're not in the final. It's like, that's like, you don't see Jason Anderson like going out of the LCQ. And if it happened, it would be like once in 4 years. Like, it doesn't create superheroes to cut these dudes. The only reason people are looking at the back of the results list is what big name didn't make it, or had a issue.
There needs to be like a limit on how many people can race, to be honest. Like it should be like limited to like 50 or 60 people that can even get on track. Like
I think it's getting more
it's getting to
limited.
that. Yeah.
Without looking up all the fucking rules because I never remember them, but like the ranking setup has definitely made it more difficult. And like there's arguments on sides of it makes it harder to get to World Cups, but I feel like what we've been saying for years at this point is like, dude, if you're fast, you're gonna always, like Jackson Goldstone wasn't gonna be stuck in Whistler his whole life because he didn't have access to UCI races. Like he's gonna end up on a team regardless. It's okay.
Mhm.
If you're fast, you're fast. It's gonna get worked out some way, likely.
It's just hard for riders like, let's say, Ollie Davis coming back from injury.
Mhm.
Fast, first year factory ride. Now the pressure is so gnarly that and also like he's a 14th, 15th place guy, could be a top 10 guy in any weekend, but like also could just not be in the final.
Mhm.
Like,
I mean, Lockie was still in that same boat too. Like,
but they are both ones that made more than half of finals this year. They're not on my list.
they
Actually,
made more
Ollie
than
is
half.
just
I
kidding.
was gonna say, yeah.
But I mean, yeah, and I don't know what the answer is for those situations. I mean, even you as an example, you've done really well at the races you've come back to, but you haven't done the
Yeah,
majority
you
of
missed 3 finals.
them.
yeah, I mean,
But
like,
the first 2 were like your literally first 2 times on a downhill bike. So
Litchfield, I think I should have made it through, and I just didn't. Either way,
Mhm.
but I was like, I would put down like the run of my life and turn around and see 26th in Q1 and be like, sick.
Mhm.
Like, and then the pressure like is so high to go and try to do it in Q2. It's like almost a race run. And then I feel like the bigger issue is it affects the build to racing too much, because like when the riders get that Q2, if say they're 21, we've seen it multiple times now with Ronan, or just to use him as an example because he's my teammate, would be like 22nd, have to step it up under pressure, and then would do really well in the race run, where some guys like didn't quite build to that pace because they came through Q1 and they had that one less time to race run with pressure. So I just feel like right now the format is a bit odd, personally.
They just need to do what they want to do and just cut it.
Just either do it or don't do it.
Karate chop it in half and just do it.
Yeah.
I've been saying this for like 3 years on this little show here.
Yeah.
The little show that everyone keeps stealing our name from.
Yeah, what
The beeline now? Like, come on, guys. Come on. A bunch of nerds over here. Just
They can try to take it. We'll still be around.
Yeah.
We'll still be around.
Come on.
All right. Was there an after party at MSA?
Didn't go.
Come on.
Nope.
Oh,
Didn't go. I wanted to go. I went to a farm dinner, and then I was so tired.
A farm
afterwards.
dinner?
What does that mean?
No, FTT?
I mean, I can assume it's a dinner at a farm, but like you said that like people know what that is.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah.
We're locking back in. We're back. I went to a dinner with some friends of ours. That
It's got to sound like more serious.
And Gwyn, I know, in Gwyn Racing. And by the time I got done after the race, got invited to a nice dinner. It was very nice. And by the time we got done, I was falling asleep by the time I got back and just never made it out. We were going to go out for XC night, and then we decided to just go on and drive home. My bed was just going to be way nicer than that second after party.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I needed to get a pulse check. I mean, it's the last one, so actually that would have been nice as well.
I'm honestly bummed. I wish I went.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's depressing that sure there's going to be Crankworks there, but there's not going to be a World Cup there for who knows if ever again.
There were so many people.
It looked like quite the
crazy.
turnout.
It was insane. The rock garden was insane. It was so cool. And there was people like all the way up to the Stevie Smith drop, like 10 deep the whole way. Like actually I took a photo from the chairlift when I was going up. I mean, obviously, and by the time I came down, like the finish line whole finish line area was completely full, but like
That's so sick.
but like all the way up,
Oh.
like
Wow.
that's going up for my race run. And it was loud. And the rock garden was packed. And it was like people all the way down the track from like Stevie Smith to the finish line, wall to wall. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
One of the best crowds I've ever had on a race weekend.
Dang, that's sweet. Yeah, I mean that race has been going on for so long. There's probably a ton of people that it's just part of their end of summer, you know. Yeah, I heard that just the cost of the event that basically like ran them under. Like they just didn't make nearly enough back to like a smaller ski resort, you know. Which kind of sucks, you know. Like I don't know if there's ever a time to just be like, we won't make you guys pay as much, you know, and let them stay
I just
around.
think there should be like a legacy event. Like if you've
Yeah, I
been
don't-
holding the event for 5 years, you should get like a discount kind of thing. Cause
Right.
and then it's like 10 years, you get another little discount. And
Mhm.
especially on a track that's really good. It's different when it's like Croatia or like, you know, like, or
Yeah,
like
they're pay to
Wyndham or,
play. We'll
like,
keep it that way.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
That's when it's different.
totally.
But
You assume when they started hosting a World Cup, they probably were helping sort out what the heck a World Cup was.
it was like $20 and a hamburger, and they could host the World Cup back then. Like
$20 at a hamburger.
Yeah, they're
3
probably
beers at the
actually
after
making
party,
money.
maybe. Like,
Yeah.
like we're having a World Cup. We're gonna supply the beer.
They're like, what
But-
the hell's a World Cup?
Yeah, back in 1992. But yeah,
That's when I was born, brother. So watch it.
hey,
My
I
year.
was shortly after you. All right,
That was a good year.
the next one was better. Okay.
Okay, Rock Garden.
Yeah.
Jackson through the rocks. You actually
Ace
weren't
with
that far off. Well, you're a little ways off like everybody else. But
I think I
like,
was
you were
third in that split. Yeah.
Did
Dude,
you
that was-
watch him back?
I watched him from the hot seat as I was watching all my hopes and dreams of a podium expire.
Same.
I was like, he's in the air. He's crashing. Oh, no. He's just.
Dude,
oh,
that
he's
was some
just
of the
hover-
craziest stuff I've seen.
He's
on a bike.
levitating.
His bike is so big and so firm.
Yeah,
I watched it back, like I watched his run back once or twice, and just he is like at middle stroke of his fork, pretty much at the most. He never goes past that. Yeah.
just him bouncing front wheel off everything. When Jason and I were sitting at an airport in Catalina watching this thing,
Mhm.
and I was like, I don't know if that was faster because like it looked like his front wheel just like ran into everything,
Oh, it did.
but it ran through it. Like
It
They
ran
just
into
went
it, but he
into
was
it.
held on.
it went through it. Yeah.
I just don't know what the plan was. Like, was the plan to double? Did you just end in the air? Like, what? And like, he weighs nothing, so he can just. And I think he runs crazy tire pressure, so you can just run it into stuff.
It looked pretty
Seemed to be
interpretive
okay.
dance moves for sure. I think there was a kind of a plan, and then he seems like somebody that definitely feeds off the vibe of the crowd. And based on the way he hit that left and entered that rock garden, and then just continued to risk his life until he exited, I was like, he is feeling it. Yeah. He was 1.3 seconds faster than everybody else just through that section. That's mental. Like I feel like you rarely see an actual tech section be that decisive. I feel like typically it's like the less suspecting little sections in between or whatever, carrying speed somewhere, whatever it might be. Especially a rock garden like that's been very similar for years, you know? Yeah.
We were also talking about it. I remember the first time when Loris doubled in that rock garden and like how gnarly that was back when he was on like a Specialized on like the ASIM demo.
Mhm.
And like that was so gnarly when he doubled through there. And then now
Right.
everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
And they're also tripling into it.
Dude, what about the triple down to like the rock slab exit?
Yeah.
There
I-
was
Dude,
one
I
of the
tried it.
juniors did it. Like Till or Max did it in
Mhm.
their race run.
Asa.
Or maybe it was Jaunty. I don't
think
know.
Asa
Dude.
did it too. Yeah.
I think Asa did, but one of the other kids did it and it looked way more savage. That is so gnarly.
But it was Tyler. But the thing, if you watch the qualifying GoPro from Asa, triple, and then he jumps, and then he doubles from way back, and then he lands and doubles that next freaking rock thing. And that's way more impressive to me, because I've been like, how do I not hit this for like 3 years? I'm like, this thing sucks.
Are you talking about where Ronan broke his wheel?
No, after he doubled that next. You guys have all rode the track. There was
Like
always
exiting,
like that
exiting the woods, you mean?
Yeah, doubled
Okay.
that thing. And that would have taken crazy momentum to do.
I think a few people might have done that. I feel like I saw a few people yanking as they like.
No. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. He does this like weird like sniper double that is in a. It's a strange spot to like
And you
compress
lose a
your
lot of
bike.
speed.
Yeah, just a strange spot for like you're kind of unsettled on these weird like chattery rocks in there, and he just did it like perfect.
Dude,
It
did
was
you
sick.
guys? I feel like Asa, the Allren twins, and Tyler Waite, because Tyler Waite's moving up next year as well, right? He's second year junior. It's John T. Is it Williamson?
Yeah, he's first year.
He's first year. Okay, so those 4 moving up are going to be really interesting because I watched juniors this round, which I don't always do. It like blew me away. Like obviously they're fast. Their times have been really fast. Asa had fastest time of the weekend, which was kind of shocking, honestly. But I would say Till, his first split, even though he wasn't fastest, some of the lines he was taking, if you guys didn't watch it, were like just so different and interesting. And I'm like, dude, that is some really crazy bike skill. It reminded me of like some Gwyn shit from a decade ago. It's just going inside where literally not a single person even looked over there. It's just like insiding before the shark fin on the upper bit. It was crazy. Yeah. Those kids have got some really wild skills. Are you worried about those kids coming in taking your job, Dak?
I took our job.
Damn kids coming in. Oh, God, yeah, some whippersnappers. No, I mean, I think it's just I'm going to be interested. Asa's good. Don't get me wrong. Asa is really impressive. How he is so dynamic on the bike is really impressive. I think that's probably, in my opinion, his best trait is how dynamic he is and able to like suck things up and go through things. And I think that's something I really need to work on, especially like right now. I literally cannot do that. And Tyler does the same thing. And I feel like Max sometimes just does it off being like, he's a really, it's not like he's crazy dynamic or attacks crazy hard. I think Max actually, his style is more like mine. It looks like he's kind of chilling and doesn't look like he's going fast, and he's able to just like carry really good speed. Where
Like
more like Loris,
mm-hmm.
where Asa and Tyler are so dynamic. They go through things, they push really hard, and it's cool. Yeah, I mean, for sure they're going to be right in the mix, I think, but we'll see what they do under pressure.
Yeah.
Because it's different when you make a mistake and now you're in 28th.
For sure. No, totally. Yeah, I mean, I think that's how it kind of always goes. It's every year, there's first year elites from juniors that were fast juniors that kind of hang out mid-pack, you know, sorting it out. But I will say of most years, I think this year, there's a high chance they're going to be mixing it up like on the podium.
Well, Jordan and Jackson. I mean, it's the same thing. It's now Ace and Max.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys want to do the Max's make or break section? We're talking about the track right now. Do you think it seems easy to say it's that rock garden because that's where Jackson kind of took it, but like, I mean, you rode the track, Dak. What'd you think?
I was just like, actually, to me, it seemed like most of the races were won or lost kind of in the first split, which was in the flattest section of the track for me. All week, the shark fin was like quite wet, quite muddy, real slippery. And the shark fin was like kind of hard to get over well, just because it was like freezing, unfreezing, and like the inside was kind of off camber. So I think like the only time it was good was in Q1, Q2, and then in the race run. And kind of how people like attacked to the shark fin and then also got over the shark fin, I think was like quite interesting because I felt like I was really attacking the first split, and then I watched the video and I was like, guess I didn't try that hard.
Back
Yeah.
to your old way.
Was the track like a bit smoother this year than it has been in years past?
Yes.
Or is there more rhythm to it?
I would say like the top definitely being moved down. Like you had to tack really hard, and then there was like a couple of corners that were a little tricky. Like it would have been really easy to put your wheel over the top of the one. You've seen everybody go inside, and then it was a left, and that had like a wheel's width of hook left on it of support. It would have been really easy to go over. And I kind of got stood up there. Jackson got stood up there, where we've seen some people hit it really good. Ronan hit it like tapped. And then getting over the shark fin and getting the drive down that straightaway was pretty important. I don't really understand where some people went so fast in the second split. Like, what was the big deciding factor? Because I felt like I was pretty on the limit, and I was like 1.5 back. So that one was pretty interesting for me. Is like the time, like it seemed like you were either competing or 1.5 back, and then that gap kind of went to the finish line.
The second split's got like a bit of a, as a rider, it's a scary split. Like the speed isn't as high, but it's so easy to like go into a tree.
Yeah, the track's narrow.
Like,
and on the track this year, the one shitty pedal, they put a good berm into, and then 2 doubles. So you're able to actually like carry the speed. I felt like I was going inside on the left before, and then I watched the video back, and a lot of people were just hitting the rut. And I think just like the speed you could carry out of that berm was really important onto that new built kind of double section that went into the concreted shark fin. So yeah, I mean, I just think for me personally, the intensity kind of to the end of the second split was so important, and I didn't see like the big time gaps, won or lost, being as crucial in split 2, but it was just like that first split, the intensity and that people either gained or lost time, I think was actually pretty critical.
Yeah.
Good old Mont Sainte Anne. Yeah. The times were snug. I feel like we always kind of end up seeing bigger time gaps there. And obviously, I mean, if we're just talking like elite men's, it was pretty tight.
The track led to that. That there wasn't a lot of line options. It wasn't super rough. There's like
the conditions were super good.
The conditions were good. There's a lot of berms on the track now. Yep. So I feel like the track just led to tighter racing.
It seemed like in the spots where traditionally there were line choice, it was main line, and everyone was going really fast, like the rock garden, and then even like the upper section, like everyone was kind of taking the same line, like the inside on the right, then like the shark fin kind of low, but like the rock garden and lower bits, like everyone was kind of on the same lines, like where traditionally it was a lot of line choice, or used to be.
The track was pretty buffed out this year.
Yeah, it feels like I remember, at least when like we were racing it, it would chop up a little bit more, be a bit more rutted. And even, you know, I don't know, like as it rained and would dry and get ridden in, it would just form into more things. Where, yeah, this year it looked pretty smooth.
Check this out. Everybody's worst fear.
Is that the last drop?
Yeah.
It's not as bad as Gracie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a bit of a different. I think it was just pretty like one-lined this year, and it was a lot of the rock was pretty filled in with dirt, so it just led to like a new modern race style, right?
Dude, I mean, after the main rock garden crosses the ski slope, goes back into the woods where Greg a number of years ago opened up that step down. That section used to be like tech and pretty hard, and this year it's a highway.
Yeah,
they look like a BMX track. It's crazy. That kind of bummed me out. I was bummed on that. But
yeah,
doesn't matter. We're never going back there ever again. It doesn't exist anymore.
I'm not going back.
Don't make me go back. Going through some other things here. I mean, do we talk about Loic and Jackson?
Dude.
Everybody else on the internet's already talked about it, so We don't
you
have
guys,
to.
you guys weren't there, but like was ripping race morning.
Was he?
Like I was like, he was visibly going faster than everybody else. Like it was, I was like, yeah, Donnie's this is what he does. He's old boy shows up when the pressure's on, and just all weekend, just like tapped. Bike looked good, and I don't consider him like a Mont Sainte Anne guy. Bike looked good. He was like visibly really fast. So I was kind of sad to see it go down like that.
Yeah. Where did he crash? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean we were chatting this morning and Johan was saying on the interwebs there's a bunch of people that were all upset that he juked out Jackson and made him do his run still and like made him risk his life and then just didn't race. And I'm like, bro, why is everybody so fucking soft these days?
Yeah.
I'm like, first of all, Jackson's racing regardless if Loic isn't, right?
Yeah.
Second of all, he just goes out, he wins at home and wins the overall. How much money he just make? You know what I mean? Like, he ain't bummed. I don't know. I thought it was really, really funny take that people are having.
Yeah.
I thought it was a sick head games. I'm all for the head games. We need more of that, right? We need more drama. And I mean, what else is Loic gonna do? Like, yeah.
I feel like it was better that he did that because if he didn't show up and Jackson like did just cruise it or whatever, I feel like people would be mad that like, oh, and then if he does his run after if he just like hides away or whatever,
that would have been even crazier.
Makes it seem like he's not going to do a run. Jackson cruises. He shows up in the start gate.
Yo, that's some few layers deep shit that I didn't even think about.
Like he should have done that.
That would have been
hiding in the corner under a trash can or something.
Man, that's super Bruni right there. Now that's freaking hood Bruni.
That's like that's like the Superman in black kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
That's the villain.
Exactly.
Jackson has made some money.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think he takes home if you had to guess? I won't do a pull out video.
In what? Yeah.
In total, I think he takes 1.5.
1.5 million?
Yeah.
What? I don't know about that.
No.
With bonuses?
No, I'm talking about in bonuses from winning. Not like what did he make for the year?
From this weekend?
Yeah.
Just like from the win and the overall was 50 plus. Just in from the bike.
Yeah, like he's probably getting, I don't know. This is like completely no basis or anything. Like this is just an arbitrary number that I'm thinking his Red Bull bonus is probably at least $100,000 for the overall.
I don't know if it's that big.
I mean, it depends
on. I don't know. I don't know what Red Bull bonuses look like. I clearly don't have one.
Yeah, it's probably 75 to 100 for the overall.
I mean,
that's crazy.
I would consider that it would be up there.
Yeah, it definitely makes you wonder. I would say it's some.
You think his bike, his Santa Cruz bonus for an overall is only 50?
No, I think I don't think
like for like.
I don't think it's as much as you would think.
The whole season overall.
What's that?
Like
I'm not saying. I think it's like the race win bonus and the overall would be like 50.
Yeah.
Maybe he got paid. Maybe there's more if he like would get paid more on his base next year if he won the overall 5-year this year. But but there's tiers, right? Like he's in a 5-year, but he probably has tiers built into a contract that if I achieve this, I make this. I achieve this, I make this. That's usually how growth happens in the sport. Like as far as your salary goes. I don't know what he's like. I don't know what his contract looks like. I don't know what Red Bull contracts look like. I'm just saying it was probably 30-40 to win the overall, I think. And then plus 15 or 20 for the race win. I don't know, something like that. We need to ask Aaron. I mean, we need to ask Aaron on that. But I mean, those are the numbers I would think. That's
past
just
Blackson.
like from the team or something.
I'll ask my guys.
I don't know.
Talk to my
I'll
people
have your guys ask
this weekend.
his
Yeah,
guys.
I'll talk
All
to my
the-
people.
All the contracts are so different. Like there's such
Yeah.
a wide number. These are just like arbitrary numbers, but like
Do you
I
think
don't
there's a
think-
double up number? Like if you're world champion and World Cup overall? Yeah.
I haven't had these problems. So
You should make these problems.
yeah, I'm
Because these don't
trying.
seem like problems.
I'm
These
literally
seem like-
trying as hard as I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it always makes you wonder with somebody like him where, the team's sponsored by Fox. He just had his limited edition collection with Fox come out. So I'm like, oh, is he on an individual deal also? Probably. Maybe. I would kind of think so. And yeah, all of those things. I would think he cleaned up pretty well for all of that. Like, who knows? Like, I guess he's in head to toe Fox. I would guess Fox gives him 20 grand for the overall, maybe more. Like, I'm just saying really low numbers.
I would
Like-
hope that he would be getting some sort of bonus from almost every sponsor on like team sponsors too.
I just don't know if it works like that usually.
But I don't
does it?
know.
think it.
No.
Yeah.
And I think the Fox one it
The Fox one probably
probably
does.
does.
Yeah.
Because of his own like limited edition collection, all that. Like
He seems like much more of a asset
mhm.
to them. He's been used a lot more, understandably. So
he's been with them since birth.
he came out with that head on his chest.
Since he was in homeschool.
Since he'd be striding.
Yeah.
Since he'd be walking with that bike between his
Dude, I think
legs.
he had a Fox helmet on in those Strider videos, like that old
just too
platoon
much.
helmet or whatever it was.
It's just actually too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. We'll try to pry that out of some people.
Poke
But it would
around.
be, yeah. Dak doesn't want to give us anything, and we don't want to do
No.
that to our boy. So, yeah.
I mean, I just threw a relative number out there. Ballpark is what I would think, but what do I know?
Just more than
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Um,
On a similar note, Pinky on Monster now, the first and only person that's gone through Monster Army and is now a lieutenant general on the Monster Energy drink.
Lieutenant General.
man, just imagine they come up with this whole concept however many years ago now, 10, 15 years ago. Like, we're going to have the Monster Army. It's going to be a feeder for athletes, for having professionals. And then they never do it. Never do it. Maybe they've had to have done it in other sports, right? They had, surely. There's been BMXers or something. I don't know.
I think it's happened in other sports, but for mountain biking,
What about Dante?
Dante's on Army. Was.
No.
He's not on. I
He's
don't know.
on Real Monster?
No, I don't even think he's on Army anymore. Is he?
He's still on Monster.
I don't know.
Okay. Because Nick
Yeah, I
and
think he's
Jake
Army.
Snow got dropped last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, that is crazy. That's pretty cool to see. Any middle finger breaks. So apparently you can go somewhere even if you break like that.
Oh, that's the reason they sponsored him, because he's just flipping everyone off the whole
It's
time.
the story. We need athletes that
It
are
makes
different.
a claw out of the front wheel and the brakes. He's just
Oh my god, it makes my forearms cramp every time I look at him breaking.
I
like
actually
that.
the other day tried to break with the middle finger. And it didn't equate in my head. I was like, so you mean that I can't even get my finger on the lever and ride down the hill.
Yeah, we got to get him some custom levers. Come on, some
Dude.
like little
nubs.
short guys. Yeah. Seriously though, with like
And
a
he-
big old like ball hook, like a moto lever.
Does he still run the wrist braces too, doesn't he?
Yep.
He needs a neck brace too.
He needs hand guards. You need to look more moto. We need a false
And-
clutch from the
and-
pole.
Hand
He's a
guards
sh-
are tough.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
surprising we haven't seen hand guards cross over into downhill racing as much. They're pretty big in enduro, or at least they were. A lot of people around here run them for bushes. Like a lot of people.
Well, they got trail crews and stuff, so like you don't have to worry about bushes at a World Cup.
Yeah. But the branding opportunity, a lot
Yeah,
of real
that's
estate.
Shrouds.
Yeah, it's true. We got to
That's-
get more.
hey,
plastics
next
on the
year,
bike.
Reese Wilson's gonna be selling that space. That's all I'm
Oh
gonna
my
say.
god! I just pray for him that they even get back to the World Cups next year. been a tough year for them. A on about to be A off. But camper vans. Actually, kind of speaking of their team, I didn't realize that Heather Wilson did a few World Cups this year, and she was at Worlds.
What? When?
Yeah, dude. I don't know. She was back for, I want to say, Leger, and then, but she wasn't a part of that team, and she was riding a different bike. She did Lenzerheide and Zandora. No, that's Leger.
No,
She
she
did
did
Leger.
more than that. She did.
I'm just looking at World Cups. Like she was at least at them.
Yeah.
So I didn't
She-
even notice. I don't know why. She was mid packet.
Which one's Hot
Worlds.
Savoy or whatever?
That's Leger.
Yeah, so she got
We got top 10.
ninth.
We looked right past that.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting because she wasn't riding on the team for
Yeah.
those. So, anyways, Aeon
Interesting.
drama.
She was on an Atherton. Oh, she was on that high country bike. The mock off.
Stay high country.
Yeah, interesting.
This is great silence I can cut out later. Okay, other overall things, just because the season's wrapping up for anybody that didn't tune in. Everything kind of played out the way we'd expect, except for elite men. But Valley raced in shorts. That was kind of cool. We're not going to give her the shorts bounty because, like, she's got a fucking Red Bull helmet on. You can't be a privateer and wear a Red Bull helmet. I'm sorry. That's not how that works.
Yeah, I don't know. Brooke McDonald did it. Just doing it.
Doing what?
Red Bull helmet privateer.
He doesn't have a Red Bull helmet anymore, does he?
Pedro Burns.
Pedro Burns.
That's oh, that's Barros.
Yeah, it's different.
There's
multiple people doing it. Tough look,
Yeah.
but there's people doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, Valley won. Oh, I'm really drawing a blank on who was second and third in the overall. I feel bad about that. Tawny was second, I think. And I forget who was in third.
Tanner's hot take. Come on, Tanner's hot take.
All right, we got Gracie in second, Tawny in third, Nina in fourth, Marine Cabreau in fifth.
Congrats, everybody.
And then Cami Blanche in sixth. Big jump in points to Anna Newkirk, seventh.
Yeah.
Sasha Ernest, eighth, which that kind of surprises me. I mean, she did have a good end to her season, but it was kind of a slow start, you know.
Mm-hmm. Gracie in second is wild after her first elite year.
Mm-hmm.
Even with kind of the unfortunate taper and then that gnarly slam this weekend. But to finish second is crazy. And then I felt really bad for Cami. Her last World Cup, she's retiring and just a savage over the bars. I don't know. I just like, it made me sad. So, but some of her career stats I went and looked at. She only started racing World Cups in 2018, which is crazy. Yeah. And she had 4 wins, 25 podiums, counting a podium as a top 5 the way God intended. And world champs, won worlds in 2020, and then had a silver and bronze worlds medals in some of those other years. So pretty sick, man. That was cool. Be curious what she does if she's able to like cash out after racing. She had some pretty good years, or maybe she does kind of what Greg's doing. She's like a part of a team or something.
She had a monster helmet, dude.
Hey, whatever that means. I don't know what monster looks like in other countries.
I can't imagine the money going too far in Switzerland. So
that is a great point, man. They are doing
not a good place for retirement. That's all I'm gonna say.
Go over to France. Just commute. Commute
Austria,
to your house.
France, left or right. Pick your poison. Yeah.
We're also losing Monica Hasnick and Veronica Whitman and Dylan Levesque are all retiring. So making some space and be interesting who kind of backfills those teams. Dak, how do you feel about bikes where you can't see the shock on
them? How many bikes can you not see the shock on?
There's a few.
Oh,
Norco, can you see the shock on that one?
I mean, there's really only
how many bikes have hidden shocks?
Fully hidden.
Fully hidden. I
Doesn't-
think it might just be that Scott. But
Yeah,
Doesn't Tanner
Um,
ride one of those?
I have 2 of them.
yeah, if you need any
Hmm.
setup tips,
Yeah, hit me up for setup tips. Probably not the same setup as you'd run.
just add 20%.
Debate. Hey, if you need a
Well-
bike, I have one. It's size medium. It's hanging up. I got 2.
Yeah, we can rent you bikes.
I don't
Yeah.
think 6-bar settings transfer to the modding.
Oh, I
Mm,
got box link settings too, and 4-bar settings.
Mm.
Yeah,
mhm.
and flex stay settings.
Mm.
How do you feel about
gravel
an
settings.
adjustable main pivot and bikes that rhyme with Shrek? Tanner and I already did our homework on the only logical places you could end up at this point. And Dylan
Aeon
Levesque really
Racing.
just reminded me.
Yeah.
Because him leaving Scott sure does open up.
You got
some-
any other options to add to it?
Any other guesses?
What am I gonna run? Any
Well, there is
any
an
4-bar bike?
there is a possibility of an opening at Yeti if they decide to have a team,
Mm.
or 2 openings actually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, Specialized. Why not?
Yeah.
I think they're pretty locked up from my research.
Yeah.
Extensive research.
I mean, you totally got Jordan, but
What do you feel about a different bike that you've had your hands on before, but not in the final form?
so much riddle.
Maybe-
I'm confused.
Are you
maybe-
talking about the
Maybe he's done a lot of GoPro collab posts with the team owner manager,
intense?
the i10s.
Man,
Hmm.
I sure did like that bike. Will say that. Sure
That would
did
be
like
a
that bike.
fun storyline. Back on the
Yeah.
bike key helping
Coming home.
What about
Yeah,
ones that
American?
are quite the opposite of a sphere?
That sounds too foreign for Dakota, if I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't even know their personnel, but just that Euro of a team, I feel like Dak's like, please, God, give me something else.
I tell you what. I
They do
really
sure
like
make those
when you
teams
guys,
work.
I sure really do like it when you guys give me a hard time about this stuff.
I mean, it's going to come out sooner than later. We're just trying to give the people some
Couple weeks.
entertainment.
Something to noodle on.
I'll drop this podcast in the forum. And
What
then
about
tell everybody that
being
you're being tight
teammates with someone who was kicked off 2 teams in a matter of 2 months?
That's not good for PR.
Picked off 2 teams in 2 months.
We can't. If we talk about this too much, we're gonna get sued, Tanner.
Too many, too touch. Too much. He said all touch and too much.
I don't know,
Touch
man.
this too much.
It's hard to
Hot
say
potato,
what's
you don't
going
want to
on.
touch. Like talking about giant and child labor right now. You just don't want to.
Dude,
Don't
I
go
read the
there.
article.
I didn't actually read the article.
It was people
I
were
did-
paying to work there.
Huh? They must really like the brand.
3-year contracts. They're paying the equivalent of 3 months' salary up front to an employment agent or consultant or something like that to get a job at Giant for a 3-year contract.
Huh.
Yeah.
Do you make it? I mean, I
And
guess you make it back.
They
but-
banned that. Merida was doing the same thing, apparently,
Hmm.
and they banned it and made sure that stopped at January 1st, 2025. So they're
Mm,
apparently gonna be doing repayments to all those people, apparently. But that's only at the Taiwan facility. So they have like 5 other facilities all over the world,
Hmm.
like a China factory, a Vietnam factory, and everything. We're just out here updating everyone on the world. Economic news. That was one of the things I got to do in my travels over the last week. Was I got to read that article.
nice. I haven't even read it. I need to.
What about there was a hot one on Frameworks. That'll be an interesting team next year. So
Yeah, I feel like I heard something about that. We should talk about the teams you would never ride for. That's what I want to know.
comments on Muckoff. I don't think Dak would ever have a position on that team.
I'm gonna
Don't think that one's an option.
I'm gonna guess that Pivot's pretty high on that list. I just don't see you vibing with Bernard. To be honest.
I don't think Bernard would really. I mean, actually, like me and Bernard get along a lot better, but I don't think like it would be like employ me get on good.
I don't think you would get on good with that bike either. It's too much of
Why?
a jackrabbit for you.
Jack, what do you think I want to plow?
It's too light.
Have you looked at yourself in the last like 4 or 5 years? You ride a
Dude,
bike?
I used to
Just
be
sit on the
I
thing.
used to be hopping around. I used to be the dude that
Yeah,
hopped.
when you were on a Morpheus.
Yeah, in
you're
your younger
trying to
days. We all had
morph your way
hopping
into
us when we were younger.
corners
Well,
and results.
You know, the thing is, I like kind of made myself not to do that because like this all came back from Nico Malawi because he's like, oh yeah, you just jump around all the time and you just jump into stuff and break your rim. And I was like, oh yeah, you kind of got a point. So then I stopped doing like all the gaps and stuff I used to do
Stop
and
trying
like
so hard.
made myself be more of like a keep the bike on the ground guy.
What about the all show no dough team, MS Racing?
I don't know what's happening there.
You're right, it's zeroed.
Yeah,
Get that belt drive
Brother.
money.
Brother,
like belt drive money's gone after this year. So
is it really?
No. Is
yeah,
it
it was
actually?
a 2-year thing. Yeah, it was 2 years. It was 2024 and 2025.
What?
I thought that was
Yeah.
like until somebody won it.
No,
They've got to extend that. They
Yeah.
put so much money into marketing all that shit.
I'm
And who
pretty
even knows what
positive-
happens with the money?
Yeah,
I didn't believe it.
2025 season.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Until they
No.
announced 2026.
I do like you guys trying to get it out of me, but
what about the going back to your old stomping grounds? Maybe bringing some older talent back to the young talent.
You're saying he's going to go out and like buy a YT? What?
He's gonna somehow get on the bankrupt team that doesn't exist.
Yeah, hold on. Real talk. If anyone's listening to this, go into our Bikeonomics forum. And in the UK, they are auctioning off all of YT's European assets and you can bid on them.
no
Like-
way.
An insane amount of shit. So if you need a new bike, could be a good way to get one cheap. If you want a goat head that you can hang on your wall, you can bid on that. You can bid on the Sprinter vans. Everything's up for grabs. Yes. It's
I
crazy.
heard some great stories from Ray Siren today, actually, about YT
Oh,
and how he
God.
almost fought Marcus Flossman in
Don't
Whistler.
don't even get this
was
podcast
great.
does not need Ray stories.
Yeah, Ray keeps bugging me about getting on a podcast, and I just like
He said
I
he
like
wants to
job
do,
security, you
he
know.
wants to do Ray Unleashed.
Yeah, he's texting me with ideas, and I'm like, first of all, no one knows who the fuck you are. So it's gonna be some random dude ranting about probably nothing because I don't think he's that tuned in anymore. But it would be entertaining.
What about Norco? I could actually see you on Norco. That's one that I could see happening.
Oh, Canada. It's not that far up there. They speak
No.
English? Poutine.
Mhm.
I like poutine, clearly.
out
Yeah.
of curiosity, why be so tight-lipped on it? Just cause?
Well, he's got to get a contract signed first.
I need to. I mean, it's just like I think there's just a lot of things that go into it, right? Like a lot of pieces to the puzzle to fit together, and yeah, I just want to like try to put myself in the best position possible going forward. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of nice to not have everything blown out there.
That's fair. It's way more entertaining. Not
I mean,
knowing.
it makes it cool when it actually does come up, you know?
That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm gonna scroll through some of the list here. Don't want to go too long in the tooth. We've actually talked about pretty much everything I had on my list. I think we're done with MSA. Great year, great World Cup season. Proud of you, Dak. You've come back impressively so. And next year's gonna be cool. New rounds.
Dude,
Lot of
if
good
you
talent.
watch like the race run from the weekend, like obviously I don't ride as like dynamically as I used to, but literally when I land off the compressions, like my pedals like actually like back pedal. Like if you watch, I land off Stevie Smith and the pedals actually go back because my legs aren't the same strength. So it's like the pedal goes back and then I land off the drop where rolling crash and my pedals go back and I'm like, I like watched the race run back after this and I was like, mic drop. I went faster than I needed to. I'm out. I'm ready for the year to be over. Like,
You
your
did almost,
boy is out. He was changing lanes.
yeah. You got real close to that pole you went around last year as well. They like a drone shot of you there, and I was like, I can't believe he just got that close to this
Yeah.
again.
We were in the riders meeting. They're like, so what do you think about that pole? And I'm like, yeah. Okay.
Put your name on it.
I said, this year I ain't stopping.
Yeah, that's what we learned from last year. You just never stop.
Yeah.
Cool. Good year. Excited for next year. I'm stoked that I'm like bummed that Team Rumors isn't going to run on as long as it normally does because it's entertaining in the forums and on site. But it'll be cool that we get to see people on their new teams training and getting up to speed. Kind of same as Supercross. I love this time of the year for Supercross. See everybody getting on with their new get-ups. Rampage is happening this weekend. Let's chat a little bit about Rampage. I mean, Dak, you're a World Cup racer. Do you watch stuff like that, or are you just like, now the racing's over, you're tuned out?
I mean, it's cool. Those dudes are super gnarly. Like, the thing for me about Rampage is I'm like pretty good at riding a bike, and then I know how gnarly it is, some of the things those guys do. And I feel like when I watch Rampage, it's a judged competition. And I'm like, when I watched Simon Godziak's run last year, and he like double backflipped this thing and front flipped down this massive cliff, and he like went down the cliff in like 4 jumps, and I was like, oh my god, that's insane. And then he didn't win, and I was like, why did you not win? Like, he did the gnarliest features and the biggest tricks. To me, it's like, okay, you win. But I feel like it's too hard. Like, judged competitions are hard, and I appreciate it for what it is. But it's like, maybe if you're a bit like more untrained at how hard some of those things would be, you're like, oh wow, that was incredible. Here's this score. But like, I just feel like I don't know why people win or don't win that event. That's why it's a hard event for me to follow, if I'm being honest. Like, it's really impressive. I watch it, but it's not like something that I'm like, wow, that was it's incredible what those guys do. But the whole event itself and how they choose who wins and who doesn't is like a bit confusing for me.
Yeah, that's fair. That's why there's always controversy every year about the results. I'm like, literally our forum right now on our Rampage forum we have, it's just Johan posting content from Dig Days. No one's interacting. The second the event's over, I'm sure it's going to blow up with people talking about who should have placed where. And I just don't know why they haven't gone to everybody does a run, the first run, and then they score, and then everybody knows where they are. It's just so stupid how they're like, first person down could have a winning run, but they're never going to give them a winning score, right? Like, it's not how it works.
Yeah.
I
think
don't know.
It should be every other year contest.
That'd be cool.
I think it's like,
it's too manicured,
but like, I think also it's like lost its like wow factor of being year after year. Cam Zink does the biggest backflip year after year off a drop, the biggest 360 off a drop. Tom Van Steenbergen does a biggest front flip. Yeah, it's like everyone's just like I don't know. I'm going for the first time. This is my first time ever going and seeing it. I've never been out there. I don't know. We'll see what it turns out like.
I hope you like it. I hope you have fun.
I think in person it would be insane.
I don't even want to watch the contest.
But that's the same. I don't want to watch the TV because I'm like, at some point in time, somebody's just gonna like evaporate.
That's what I'm saying. I told my friend about that who got me my ticket. I was like, I just want to go and watch like the pre-hits, like the pre-show. I don't want to go to contest day.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the hard thing with Rampage. Like, part of what I think, 2 things. One, it's like the world champs of free ride. It's like the event, right? So there becomes a lot of focus on it and then a lot of critique on it. And there is things about it that are good and bad, but none of that to me takes away how insane it is to ride. All of the riders are ridiculous. Things they're doing now is crazy. I think the women's side is the most interesting because they're progressing the quickest.
They're also losing the most amount of athletes to injuries
it definitely is. I mean, maybe I guess
slower
the
roll,
first few
everyone.
rampages were like that, where like dudes were just eliminating themselves. But it is
They had like an
a
endless
steep-
supply of dudes that'll just come in, you know? Like,
It was also a lot softer back then and smaller. But regardless, I think too what hurts Rampage in my eyes is everybody is out there all year round riding in the desert. So like the novelty of seeing that landscape is so gone now. Even though we've had, even beyond the fact we've had Rampage for I think like the 19th year. So you've kind of seen it. It's like the third time at this venue. You've seen the features. You can go watch on Instagram some 12-year-old hitting the gnarliest drop and it looks the same. So now like where's the gauge of what's actually gnarly anymore?
were we talking about it where like the FMB series when it was part of that and like to win the FMB overall,
Yeah.
you had to like do well at Rampage. So you had like Nick Godkin going with one break off the side of a cliff and like
The good old days.
and then you had like Kyle Strait and Cam McCall like, competing in the like Crankworks slope style events too, because like that's the way to get to Rampage is you have to do like some amount of slope style events. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough because I want it to do well because I think it does a lot for mountain biking from a mainstream point of view, and maybe it still does.
But I think it was like how X Games did a lot for skating for a while and like BMX and like at a certain point it runs its course. I think they should just move Rampage to like somewhere else, take it to like a Corey, take it to the cliffs of Kazakhstan. Afghanistan would be a good venue.
Get that oil money going. We got hardline though.
We could take it to an urban thing in Mexico, off the sides of buildings maybe.
We've done all that though with like urban racing, even
a strip mine in West Virginia, possibly. We got options, but yeah. I don't know what the answer is. It generally it seems like the interest is lower than it once was to me though, and maybe I'm just talking to a bunch of haters. All of us are just kind of old and burned out on it, but I think it's like peaked for the young teenage, early 20s crowd because there's a bunch of new kids in it. It's a bit different because like like a lot of the old heads are out. I mean, Kyle's not there and he's the OG of the OGs, so that's I don't know, I think says something right there. It's like a changing of the guard, which means that they can change the location now. Is what I'm saying.
I think I'd be more. I'm down with location changing for sure. I would like them to change the format first and figure out that just to like
some sort of standard, right? That I can be like when I'm watching the event, I'm gonna be like, yeah, he crushed that. He's gonna get a 6 score, not just like that was crazy. Oh,
you know what they need?
You know? Like I'm a racer, true and true. So I like it's very cut and dry. You went fastest or you didn't. You're going fastest or you're not. Like very simple.
Yeah. They need the owl. They need the AI judging that X Games has. That for some reason is called owl. That's what we fucking need.
Owl.
Yeah. We need like everything in life currently, it would be better with artificial intelligence. And I think that's what Rampage is needing.
Get some AI slop in there.
I haven't watched X Games since COVID. When I was a kid, X Games was everything. I lived for it. And now I just don't really watch it anymore, other than I watched maybe Moto half pipe.
Okay, when's the last time you watched a BMX part?
Yesterday.
Jason, you're an outlier.
There's a new Vans Odyssey part. Everybody should go watch it. It's like a group part. It's pretty good.
Or like a BMX contest.
Yeah. I think ever since X Games tried to become like a global phenomenon, it just lost it. I'm like, keep it like the Olympics and make it like, sure, if you do it every year, that's fine. Let's make it in one spot. Everything happens there. Don't give me like all these different locations. And I'm like confused if they all carry the same weight. And like I'm feel bad if like,
dude, that's what Crankworks is doing the same thing. They're watering it down.
Crankworks is all over the place. At one point, they were just like, we're going to have a bunch, and then we're going to have less, and then we're going to have just Canadian ones because of COVID, and then they're like, fuck, what do we do with these? And yeah, I don't know. Like, just keep it Whistler. I don't know. It doesn't seem that hard.
Yeah. Whistler and Les Deux Alpes. Let's bring back Big Mountain style.
Mhm.
That was when they
Mhm.
had mountain style. That was cool.
But I think that's the one we just said this, and then we're saying we want a new hardline or a new Rampage venue, and then Rampage is cool because it's been Rampage for how long, right? You know what you're gonna get.
Well, yeah, it was like it's just, but they wear out the venues.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
someone
don't-
just needs to go through and like literally destroy every single line.
That would be
And-
kind of cool. It is kind of annoying they didn't do that, actually. That's a really
Yeah.
good point.
Like every digger should have to go back and destroy everything.
Well, and I feel like there needs to be a way, and that could be it, to just make it look like mountain biking and not just a sidewalk down the hill, which
Like
sounds
Line
like,
Rider.
what's that?
It reminds me of Line Rider. Like, you know, the
Does.
game that you play with like
Yeah,
the old
I
guy on the
love the
sled or
shit out
whatever.
of that game.
It's so good. But like that's what Rampage reminds me of.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's insane the stuff they build, and
Yeah.
the stuff is still super dangerous and gnarly. But like, it is this weird balance of like they need to be able to build stuff to be progressive with tricks and everything, but then it like loses like the big mountain vibe. So how do you? I don't think we're currently blending that super well. So
I think it's lost the big mountain vibe for the last few years.
mhm. I mean, and like Cam does a pretty good job trying to maintain that with his shoots that he'll toss in, but then he
Mhm.
burns half the mountain and doesn't get as many hits.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like both Tyler McCall and Kyle Strait both were like, I'm not going to compete this year because I have been to this venue. I had a good route made and a good run, and I didn't win. So like, why would I go back? Because I know I'm not going to win.
Yeah.
And I get it, but it also sucks.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited to go because I'm staying with Matson and Nico and Asa and go see Asa hit big jumps.
oh yeah, dude, we should get a freaking. You should do a podcast one night with those two dudes. Just record it on your phone or something.
We could.
We were actually just talking, Spomer and I, about like, do we do written interviews still? Like, I've got some magazines I've been reading,
Dude.
and obviously in a magazine that's all you get. But like, do people even give a shit on the internet? Because you can just podcast everything.
I mean, once I have some time, I definitely want to do a zine and like write like an article about. I told Spomer I'd write an article about like Deep Summer
Mm-hmm.
and that whole thing. So, but
Would
unfortunately,
that go on the internet or would that be physical?
I want to do like a zine, a physical piece. I want to do a physical piece about like every trip that I did this summer.
Mm-hmm. Like the
Which-
physical, like that, I think is sick.
But I also want to do like a more so just like a on the website
Mm-hmm.
little article with like my favorite photos from Deep Summer.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I like stuff like that, but I'm
And, like-
also older, so
Yeah. I mean,
I
yeah,
don't
when
know.
there's, I don't know. Yeah, when there's like certain stuff, I know I read things, but also I'm just a weirdo. So I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like that stuff is becoming cooler and cooler to me because I just see the kids on the internet hitting massive jumps, and I'm like, cool. And I get so jaded to that, right? So I just like stories and people and artists, and it's just a different thing. It's more, but I'm also in that category too. So like,
Yeah.
that's why I like it so much.
mm-hmm.
I also like
Yeah.
to just see what like my friends are doing or like people I know or people that like I'm like, oh, this person does a lot of cool stuff or whatever. Like I like inspiration of some sorts and seeing all that. But
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, I know. We were just chatting about it, trying to come up with new creative things in the future, and I'm like, I don't really I mean, with the right subject, pretty much any medium is interesting. Like, it doesn't really matter. Medium is interesting. Like whatever you put out is kind of cool. But I think the key is telling people something they don't know. You know?
yeah. You could do a 17 questions with Nico and Asa.
Yeah, it could be cool. Do you have a camera of some kind? I guess you could do it with an iPhone, honestly.
I mean, I have my like camera to shoot photos on.
See,
and
like,
also shoot video.
what would be cool with if you have access to those two dudes that like already isn't out there and been done. You know,
Yeah.
like that's the sweet sauce. I feel like
This is what we need the forum for, is what do people want to see?
yeah, but the forum I think is also totally it's a certain demographic though. It's I mean somebody who's logging in to comment on a mountain bike website is like pretty fucking core. Not that I mean we're a core site, so core score just through the roof.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean seriously though, cost you some money. It would be cool to come up with something if you're going to have access to them too. It's just what isn't, you know, like I keep going back to I want to do things on people that are in mountain biking, whether it's a video interview. It's not talking about bikes or there's no bikes involved. Like that's like the perfect thing to me of like if I came and did something with DAC and all you learn about DAC is nothing bike related because you already know, you know, like we know your bars are high. We know you're coming back from a hip injury. Like there's a lot to be known already from what you and the team puts out. But like how do you get to know somebody on like a more real level if you're just kicking it with them?
What was the there was you remember What Youth? So they used to do a YouTube series that was called it wasn't In the Know, Fairly Normal. Those were really good, but they also did like these walk and talk ones where they just like walking around asking stupid questions. That's the kind of stuff that I like to watch. So I'm like, oh, person, I think that's kind of funny, like their answers or whatever.
Yeah.
I like, maybe it's because of me, but I like all the like shop house tour stuff, like compound videos. Like to me, that's the coolest thing. Is like, okay, you have this incredible person. Like one that was really cool for me was Steve Ranella, and then like he did like a house tour on like his house and all the memorabilia he's kept and like how he organizes all of his gear. And like to me, that is like the true essence of a person, and I love watching that stuff on the internet.
Yeah, seeing like what people are into, because like I don't know, it's always like you learn something new about someone, but also you might find something that you're into as well through like someone else.
Yeah, I want to know what you had for breakfast. That's like my go back to, you know, like I do something with somebody.
I eat the same thing for breakfast every day.
Yeah,
like 2 pieces of toast, 2 fried eggs over medium, and 2 pieces of turkey bacon. Same thing I eat for breakfast every day. It's the only consistent thing in my life. Like,
dude, that's actually interesting.
Like literally the only consistent thing in my life.
Dude, I run 2 of these chicken sausages every morning, like the apple ones or the maple ones, and they literally don't exist in Europe, and it just derails my whole like, dude, because I can't eat eggs, no dairy, no gluten. So I'm like, I don't eat any grains. I'm like, what do I even eat? Like, it's terrible. I just like my whole like, or I'll like have 2 chicken sausages and like some berries and like a smoothie, and I'm like my whole. I have no blender. I have no chicken sausages. Like, how do I even start my day? You know?
What's the point?
I don't know. What's the point? But maybe some people find that thing that interesting. You know? Like, what are? I think that's like the big thing. Like, of like I would like to know more of is like, what are the struggles of the athlete, or like what's challenging, or what comes easy, or like, I think that stuff's kind of cool because like that's like what actually is like digging more into the mindset of the athlete in general.
Hey, or do you drive 5 miles per hour over the speed limit or 5 miles per hour under the speed limit? No, because I've come to find out recently that there's a lot of people that drive 5 miles an hour under the speed limit.
Really?
It's the most insane thing to me.
My speedometer isn't working, my man. I don't even
these
know.
These people actually exist.
They better be in the far right lane.
Exactly.
I'll brainstorm some stuff with Nico and maybe Asa as well, but something that would be realistic for you to do without being like a burden on what they're doing. But like, you know, with Nico, I'm just like, okay, you run a team. Everybody sees like your involvement. Like the natural thing is like, oh, your bike and like your, you know, Asa, the prodigy. I'm like, dude, like, what's the thing that like cost you the most money this year you didn't plan on, or like,
yeah.
like, just whatever, like random things like that. Like,
How'd you show up to a World Cup to 2 big rounds with the Red Bull rig?
How
many people did that piss
you
off
make
at Lake
that
Placid?
Yeah.
I know the answer to that, and it's actually hilarious because it pissed off people at Lake Placid apparently that had athletes on Red Bull. But
not Red Bull US.
Exactly, and literally Nico's the only one that asked. So
sometimes you just
if
gotta
you
ask.
Yeah, if you don't ask, you're not gonna.
Some
get
people
it,
just don't even know that a Red Bull rig exists.
Well, because that's an
understandably
American thing. Yeah, thank God that stuff in the land of no freedom.
Yeah. Well, maybe maybe there'll be some content that comes from this conversation. Maybe not. Maybe it's just food for thought. People can let us know if they got ideas. All right. Let's close this thing out because it's going to take like 9 hours for it to upload. I'm going to be editing at 2 a.m. Oh, I forgot we didn't do the final Bergtech Labor of Love Award.
Yes. I think it's pretty obvious.
I haven't looked at anything, so if you have an obvious one.
It's Evan Metcalf. 12th place.
Clearly.
Metcalf. Metcalf.
That was a feel-good one.
Yeah.
And he won Q2.
Yeah.
Dude, he was sitting in the back of his van looking like a beaten man after Q1. I went over there and I was like telling him, went through his GoPro. I'm like, you pedal here, open this up, don't break here. And then the dude goes and like freaking wins Q2. And I'm like, I had to text him. I was like, yo, if you beat me tomorrow, you're cut off, dude.
No more advice.
What do you think? Does that get him more support next year? Honest question.
It should. It should.
I think it should. I don't even know if he gets free bikes.
That's a good point.
But
I mean, a result like that started my career.
Yeah.
We're gonna get out of here before Tanner gets interrupted again.
Yeah, Ray's looking for beers in the fridge and there's no beers.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's it.
Yeah.
Mont Sainte Anne over. Hopefully we'll
do some off-season thing. Maybe a post-Rampage one.
Post-Rampage should be entertaining. We could do one after Dak's team stuff comes out, assuming that's got to happen in the next month. But thank you everybody for listening. I'm stoked to keep this going next year. We'll figure out making sure we can do them after rounds that are easy for Dax, because the back-to-back races are a real bitch.
And we'll figure out what that Jensen USA sponsor means for us and our listeners. So
we gotta go, dude.
All right. Thank you for listening.
Gotta go.
We're out.